So I'm in the Acura right now with James Rea, who's a veteran cycling reporter who's co-written the book, The Tour de France for Dummies. James, let me ask you, what's it like driving this car and following the tour around?
I think what you really need when you go on a stage race, the Colorado Pro Cycling Challenge, you need a good steady car for the mountains. We're in a nice Acura TSX. It's very stable on the road. It's a really good maneuvering car in the mountains. Very solid, very comfortable for an 8 or 9 day stage race. This race is with an advanced day and a day afterwards. It's 9 days. The Tour de France is 21 days, but the races develop the same way. They're stage races. They go city to city, and they do it day after day after day. The riders, many of the riders here are the same riders that are in the Tour de France, and the race unfolds. Some day there's long stages. Some day, today for example, is only a 10-mile individual time trial. But each day just unfolds, and a guy goes into the lead, and you follow the peloton, 130 riders in this race. Well, the interesting thing about this race is that we have the top 3 guys from this year's Tour de France, Cadel Evans and the 2 brothers, Andy and Frank Schleck. And I think, speaking a little bit freely, they mean they're very strong riders, but they're also here as paid riders. I mean, they've invited them here, and they're not here probably not to win the race, but they're here post Tour de France on kind of a global whirlwind tour. The other riders, there's a mix of, veteran Tour de France riders. George Hincapie, 15 times Tour de France finisher, won yesterday's stage. There's Levi Leipheimer, who's, a podium finisher at the Tour de France. So you have a mix of veteran European riders, veteran American riders.
How are you covering this race? Tell me about what it's like to cover the race. Do you go to the start and then drive to the finish, or do you just go to the finish?
Well, you get a media sticker on your car, and you have your own ways of doing it. You go to the start, and many of the riders are available for interviews, and then you get on the road, and sometimes you drive 200-300 miles to the finish, and you get in the press room and you write your stories, and you do that day after day after day. Well, yesterday was what they call the Queen Stage. We went over 2 passes of more than 12,000 feet, and in the Tour de France, they've never gone over a pass more than maybe 8,500 feet. Of course, they're in meters in Europe. So yesterday was really, as the riders like to say, that they suffered. But when they say we suffered, they enjoy suffering. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag.
James, you're driving this car several hundred miles.
Yes.
What's it like? Is it good to drive? Is it fun to drive?
I think it's a really solid, comfortable station wagon. Sometimes station wagons are known as boxes on wheels, but this car is very comfortable driving. I can adjust the seats to, I'm 6 feet tall and 190 pounds. I can adjust it. I feel very comfortable.
Here we are about to start the time trial, which is stage 3. Who's your money on?
I think today I'm going to go with Tom Danielson. He's a Colorado rider based in Durango, and he's focused on this race for a long time. He's a good uphill time trialist, so I think I'm going to go with Tom Danielson today.
All right, well, when this video airs, the race will have been over, so you'll see if James is right or not. So
we'll see.
Check the internet for results.